So now we are just going to see that history of the United Kingdom from 14th and 15th centuries. After a brief ruled Edward Longchamp's son, his grandson Edward III, 1312 to 1377, succeeded to the throne at the age of 15 and reigned for 15 years. His reign was marked by the beginning of the Hundred Years' War, 1337 to 1416, and deadly epidemics of bubonic plague. So it's otherwise called as Black Death, which killed one third of the England's and Europe's population during that 14th and 15th century. Edward III was often off fighting in France, leaving his third son John of Gaunt, Duke of Lancaster, to run the government. Later, John's son Henry Bolingbroke would be proclaimed King Henry IV from the tenure during the years 1367 till 1413. So, history of the United Kingdom from 14th and 15th centuries. Henry V defeated the French at the Battle of Agnicourt in 1415, but his pious and peace-loving son Henry VI, who inherited the throne at the age one, was to have much trouble reign. The regent most of England's possessions in France to a 17-year-old girl, and in 1455 the War of Roses broke out. This civil opposed the House of Lancaster, the Red Rose supporters of the Henry VI, to the House of York, the White Rose supporter of the Edward IV. So the York argued that the crown should have passed to Edward III's second son, Lionel of Antwerp, rather to the Lancaster descendant of John of Gaunt. So Edward IV's son Edward V only reigned for 1 year before being locked in the Tower of London by his evil uncle Richard III, 1452 to 1485. In 1485, Henry Tudor, the half brother of Henry VI, defeated Richard III at the Battle of Bosworth Field and became Henry VII, founder of the House of Tudor. So here we following Henry Tudor seventh to the throne was perhaps England's most famous and historical significant ruler, Magnificent Henry VIII, 1491 to 1547. And we come to the history of the United Kingdom, 16th century. Upon the death of the Henry VIII, his 10-year-old son Edward VI inherited the throne. 6 years later, however, Edward VI died and was succeeded by the Henry's elder half-daughter Mary. So here we have another story. A staunch Catholic intended to restore Roman Catholic to England, executing over 300 religious dissenters in her 5 year reign. She married a powerful king, Philip II of Spain, who also ruled over the Netherlands, the Spanish Americans, and the Philippines. Was a champion of the counterformation. Mary died childless of ovarian cancer during the year 1558, and her half sister Elizabeth ascended to the throne. The great Queen Elizabeth I, 1533 to 1603, was the first golden age of England. It was the age of great navigators like St. Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh, an age of enlightenment with the philosopher Francis Bacon and playwrights such as Christopher Marlowe and William Shakespeare. So her reign was also marked by the conflicts with France and Scotland and later Spain and Ireland. She was never married, and when Mary Stuart tried and failed to take over the throne of England, Elizabeth kept Mary imprisoned for nearly 19 years before finally signing her act of execution. So here we find Elizabeth I died during the year 1603 and ironically Mary Stuart's son James VI of Scotland succeeded the throne. Elizabeth I and King James I of England, thus creating the United Kingdom.